As a young boy, I was captivated by the enigmatic secrets of the cosmos, inspired by the luminary works of Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World and the legendary Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of. Yet, amongst all the marvels and riddles that stirred my youthful imagination, nothing quite matched the thrill of venturing into an uncharted jungle, stumbling upon the remnants of a forgotten civilization. The slightest thought of it ignited an insatiable passion within me and left me spellbound in a state of awe and wonder. I can't imagine how those early explorers must have felt. Welcome to Saturday Morning Seance. Let's ramble on, and if you enjoy the content, please subscribe. Located on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico is Chichen Itza, an ancient Mayan city, and slap bang in the middle of it is a massive step pyramid named El Castillo, constructed about 1,000 years ago of limestone blocks to a height of 100 feet. It's thought to be a Mayan calendar, with the 18 terraces each representing a month of the year. It also has 365 steps. It has a giant central staircase. At the bottom are two giant serpent heads representing Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, who was said to be the great teacher and taught the Mayans about civilization, astronomy and farming, then left, but promised to return. My view is symbolically he returns every year. During the spring equinox, as the sun rises, the serpent's shadow descends the staircase. At the end of summer, during the sunset at the autumn equinox, Kukulkan leaves as the shadow goes up the staircase and into the heavens. 1969, humans touched down on a celestial object for the first time. Out of the Eagle lunar module steps Neil Armstrong onto the dusty surface of the moon. Skip forward 7 years and Armstrong is exploring not outer space, but inner space. The Teos Caves of Ecuador, funded by the British government. Armstrong has chosen to head up an expedition to find the legendary metal library, a library made of gold and inscribed with a language which cannot be deciphered. Originally found by a Catholic monk called Father Crespi, the mysterious metal library is said to be deposited in a cave excavated by extraterrestrial giants. The contents are said to contain all the answers of the ancient world and the key to interdimensional time travel. The biggest mystery is, however, why Armstrong would never talk or describe any of the aspect of this expedition, what they found or experienced, and died holding the secrets. In 1492, it was depicted as pristine wilderness, but recent research suggests the Amazon is a collection of earthworks built by ancient civilizations. These cultures completely reshaped their landscape for residential, agricultural and religious reasons. These earthworks involved the mass movement of soils, transformation of terrain, soil enrichment and building canals. Most of these structures were deserted by the 15th century and have since been swallowed by the jungle. A survey in Bolivia using LiDAR technology found extensive, low-density urbanism with huge settlements featuring stepped platforms and pyramids. So despite what you have been taught, the Amazon jungle was not the pristine wilderness you were led to believe. It was made by humans. The oldest mummies are not found in Egypt, as most of us think, but from part of the narrow coastline of Chile and the Atacama Desert. 282 Chinchorro mummies have been found, the oldest, known as the Achaman, dating back to 7020 BC, 2,000 years older than the oldest in Egypt. The Chinchorro cultures are the first funerary practitioners, and the mummies considered as artistic expressions of the feelings, the emotions of these ancient people. It is an intentional, complex process, removing the soft tissue, securing skeletal structures with wood, and binding with vegetable fibers. Covered in a layer of shaped clay, with the skin on the outside painted black. The face mask covered in manganese, skin, and a wig. The eyes are open, mimicking life. One of the most endearing and moving qualities of this culture is the care taken with the mummies of the elderly and the infants. It was a dark and mysterious land, shrouded in mystery and ancient secrets. Deep in the heart of Mexico, the Olmec civilization rose and fell, leaving behind only enigmatic remnants of their once great empire. These massive stone sculptures dating back over 2,000 years, have long been a source of fascination and speculation among scholars and lay people alike. Some people believe they are the work of aliens who visited Earth long ago and left their mark on this land. Others see them as the likeness of powerful Olmec rulers, or perhaps even gods. But the truth about the Olmec heads remains elusive, hidden beneath layers of time and history. And so we push deeper into the jungle, braving the elements and the dangers that lurk around every corner. As we dig up ancient artifacts and pore over mysterious glyphs, we may begin to piece together a picture of a world long forgotten, a world of kings and warriors, of art and science, of faith and power. But our journey is far from over. For every answer we uncover, a dozen more questions arise, drawing us deeper into the labyrinth of the past. And as we stand before the looming, enigmatic faces of the Olmec heads, we know that the mystery of this land will never be fully revealed. Yet still we press on, driven by a thirst for knowledge and a love of adventure. For in the heart of Mexico, the past is never truly dead, and the secrets it holds are waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek them out. One thing is certain. The Olmec heads hold a powerful sway over the imagination, inspiring awe and wonder in those who behold them. They are a testament to the mystery and majesty of the ancient civilizations. And so, the mystery of the Olmec heads endures. These are some of the most intriguing stone figures ever made. Most of the stelae were built during the 43-year reign of the enigmatically named 18 Rabbit. Renowned archaeologist David Sadat says the carved glyphs on Stela A show him taking on the persona of the high god of Copan. The motifs on his headdress show that he is a sky deity. Examining the elaborate carvings on Stela C, the story gets stranger because the text on it refers to 18 Rabbit travelling through time himself, witnessing celestial events millions of years apart, 2 million years either side of his time, so spanning 4 million years. It's reasonable to assume, because these artifacts exist, that whoever made them knew something we don't. So, I am in awe of these hauntingly mysterious stelae. I find myself humbled by the immeasurable depths of history they carry, forever teasing us to try and unlock the enigmas of the past. Teotihuacan, the birthplace of the gods, considered the most powerful city in Mesoamerica, with a population of 150,000 people. The builders are lost in the sands of time, but the Aztecs, who named it, claim a common ancestry. But that ancestry is always a subject of debate. Along its main road, the Avenue of the Dead, are 3 massive structures: the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the gigantic Pyramid of the Sun. Their layout exactly mirrors the Belt of Orion, which doesn't seem to be a coincidence. In the Mayan culture, Orion's belt is a point of creation and is quite specific about this. In 3114 BC, the gods came from there. But this gargantuan pyramid has no hieroglyphs and no form of writing, so there's no definitive history. But this layout is echoed throughout time and all over the globe on different continents. Supposedly built around 1440, but in truth was built on top of far older foundations laid by an unknown civilization. The gateway to the gods was built several thousand years before the Incas ever arrived. Even the Incas say that they had no idea who they were or where they went. The earliest parts of Ollantaytambo date back to at least 12,000 years. Anthropologist Jesus Gamara describes the builders as the first humans. Well, how could the first humans make such a thing? The 6 monoliths are massive interlocking 50-ton blocks fitting together with unparalleled precision, including inbuilt earthquake shock absorbers on top of a mountain transported across a plain and river from a different mountain. Doing this today requires steel girders, several axles and hydraulic jacks, not to mention changing the profile of the mountain to build a road with an anchor and pulley system. All of this surpasses the Incas' known capabilities. Carved directly into the bedrock of the mountain summit, this is Teotihuacan, a ritual stone used by the ancient Incans. It points directly at the sun during the winter solstice. Some anthropologists say that the Teotihuacan stone, nicknamed the hitching post of the sun, was believed to tether the sun in its annual path across the sky. At noon on the equinox days, it casts no shadow at all. On June the 21st, it casts the longest shadow on its southern side and a much shorter shadow on the northern side on December the 21st. The Inca had many such ritual stones, but most were destroyed by the Spanish during the late 1500s by the Order, the 5th Viceroy of Peru. An act of intentional violation, as they believed that the Incas' religion was blasphemy. Luckily, the Teotihuacan of Machu Picchu was found intact by Bingham in 1911. Machu Picchu, in the sacred valley of the Incas, is the Temple of the Condor, part of which resembles their sacred bird with outstretched wings. The temple's design incorporates natural rock formations, creating the shape of the bird. More interestingly, though, is that andesite was quarried here from what is called the Wall of Living Rock. Stones were removed in a way unknown to modern science. There's not a scratch on the surface. The corners are rounded like a cookie cutter, which also can't be explained. The totally smooth surfaces indicate that vitrification took place, which requires enormous heat. Curious crisscrossing on the rock face strongly points towards saw marks and ancient machining, irrefutable proof of lost technology from an advanced, lost, ancient civilization, or extraterrestrials. It's one or the other. The Inga Stone is a large rock located in the state of Paraíba in northeastern Brazil. The engravings on the surface are believed to have been done by the indigenous people from the region, but no one knows for sure. They depict various geometric and anthropomorphic figures, as well as symbols and representations of animals. Some of the designs could be related to astronomical observations or have symbolic meanings tied to celestial events. The way it is laid out does resemble a night sky, thought to date back to the pre-Columbian era approximately 6,000 years ago. How the marks on the stone were made also remains uncertain. Some suggest stone tools with abrasion or percussion techniques. Others propose metal tools or even a combination of different methods at different times. In my mind, it is visual proof of our ancestors' desire and need to express, create, and connect with the cosmos. A land of perpetual mystery, from the depths of the rainforest to the enigmatic Nazca Plains. Peru inspires us. The verdant canopy conceals ancient secrets, echoing with the calls of exotic birds. The dense foliage gives way to the towering Andes, a jagged wall of rock and legend. Ascending the rugged mountains, we reach the mystical Nazca lines, etched into the arid plains, colossal geoglyphs baffling us for centuries, their purpose veiled in mystery. Under the starry tapestry of the night sky, there are tales of ancient civilizations who believe these lines held a cosmic connection, aligning with constellations and solstices. The lines are said to be celestial maps, guiding the souls of the departed, linking the terrestrial to the celestial in a dance of cosmic significance. In the quiet desert, awestruck beneath the vast starlit sky. In northern Peru, a gold, distorted mask has been unearthed. A human face with amber and emerald eyes, and it has a dark and mysterious past. Found at the Pomac forest in 1991 in a man-made mound from a culture that vanished 600 years ago. The Sican, who built temples called Huacas, still visible today, poking up out of the forest canopy, and one yielded a ton of grave goods. Huaca Loro, an odd burial in a number of ways, with posed bodies, and the lord or priest was buried upside down, decapitated, with the head rotated at 180 degrees, so it was upright, all painted vibrant red. Strange indeed, but it gets stranger and darker. That red paint is made from cinnabar pigment. Nothing strange about that. There's also a binder of egg yolk. Again, nothing strange there, but there's another binder that helps that vibrant deep red colour resonate through the ages. it's human blood. Found in the royal tomb in a pyramid at El Teotihuacan, the remains of a high-ranking individual, likely a ruler or noble, richly adorned with various artifacts and offerings. These magnificent figurines were likely used for ceremonial or ritual purposes. They could provide valuable insights into the religious and artistic practices of the ancient Mayan civilization, or they could be something a bit simpler. It seems the ancient Maya might have been onto something big, like galactic empire big. Those figurines they buried with their elites, they could be mistaken for the first prototypes of Kenner's Star Wars toys. They do bear a striking resemblance. I mean, who's to say those ancient rulers weren't secretly planning to conquer the universe with miniature action figures? They were way ahead of us with their masonry. Clearly, they were light years ahead of us in terms of strategic playtime. 12,000 feet in the Andes, near Cuzco, is the ancient fortress Sacsayhuaman, with its impressively big walls predating the Inca, whose structures sit on top of it and say it was made by an earlier unnamed civilization led by Viracocha. To say that these walls are astonishing is an understatement. Granite blocks weighing up to 100 tons, cut as precise as jigsaws, forming indestructible structures whose complexity is mind-bending, with tortuous joints and polygonal shapes, vitrified surfaces no less. Let's not forget that. Legend says a falcon was responsible who carried a chemical in its beak capable of melting stone. Sacsayhuaman means head of the falcon. Will we ever discover how this was made? I don't know, but it's a bit too easy to say it was aliens. Let's not forget human ingenuity. When it comes to mysterious lost cultures, the Olmecs are off the charts. And yes, those colossal stone heads are some of the most enigmatic objects ever to exist. But they are in fierce competition with these, the rocket men of Levante. A plumed flying serpent-shaped vehicle with a man sitting inside with one of those mysterious handbags which are found all over the globe and wearing a helmet. And this, now found at the Museum of Natural History in New York City, an Olmec statue wearing what looks like a flight suit, including some sort of life support unit attached to his chest. The head is covered with a balaclava similar to our modern day astronauts, and a set of 6 wings. Have you ever heard of Puma Punku? It's an archaeological site in Bolivia that holds one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world, Neolithic stonework that has puzzled historians and archaeologists for decades. You see, the stonework at Puma Punku is unlike anything else from its time. The precision and advanced engineering are mind-boggling. Stones weighing over 100 tons have been cut and shaped with such accuracy that the gaps between them are less than a millimetre wide. How did they do it? Some suggest that the ancient builders used advanced tools and techniques that are now lost to us. Others believe that it was all done with simple hand tools. With those tools, the level of precision achieved is almost impossible to replicate today. There are also questions about the purpose of the site. Was it a temple, a palace, or a fortress? No one knows for sure, and the fact that the site was abandoned and left to crumble only adds to the mystery. So if you're fascinated by ancient history and mysteries, Puma Punku is definitely worth a visit. These mysteries deepen still further with the discovery of the Fuente Magna bowl, an ancient ceramic vessel bearing the enigmatic script of the Sumerians, a civilization that flourished on the opposite side of the world from Tiwanaku. How could two cultures separated by more than 8,000 miles be linked in such a way? And what does it all mean for our understanding of history and the world around us? For me, the wonder and mystery of Tiwanaku and South American culture as a whole has been a lifelong fascination, and one that continues to inspire and ignite my curiosity, urging me to explore further and deeper into the rich history and heritage of this remarkable continent. Thanks for watching this episode of Saturday Morning Seance, and remember to embrace the strange.